Hi, I'm Natalie from ATMS and welcome to our Practitioner Spotlight. Today I am joined by A.M.G. Hi A.M.G, how are you?
I'm good, Natalie. How are you?
Oh, very good. Thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure.
So today we are going to be spotlighting what you do and what you love. So let us know, what is your modality and where do you practice?
I'm a nutritionist and I'm based south of Sydney, but I have an online practice, so I don't have a physical clinic, and I see clients from all over Australia.
Oh, that's brilliant. Your reach can be, you've got such a big reach then, don't you?
Yep, absolutely.
Brilliant. And what is your main passion and focus in your nutrition clinic as well?
So I focus on endometriosis. So I focus on women and those assigned female at birth, because it can be a wide range, who have endometriosis or think they may have endometriosis, and we look at using nutrition to try and reduce the severity of their symptoms and to get some control over their symptoms and be able to lead a more normal life.
Yeah, so I guess some patients might be coming to you knowing they've got endometriosis, and some are coming to you not knowing they've got endometriosis.
Yes, a lot of them come with knowing that they have endometriosis. A lot of them have just been diagnosed and are in that stage of, oh my gosh, what is this disease and what can I do? They're often told that they need to take medication or birth control pills, because that is what will stop all the pain and all the symptoms. And then a lot of them have already got a focus on a more natural way of managing their health, and then they're looking for other ways to also do something themselves about their health and reducing the symptoms. And nutrition is then one of the focuses that they want to explore.
Excellent. And so what would a consultation look like, I guess, for somebody who has got endometriosis?
It's basically, of course, an extensive health questionnaire is where we start, because in my experience, they rarely have just one disease. There's a lot of my clients have a lot of autoimmune diseases. There's thyroid issues, quite a few with PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome, multiple sclerosis, various other autoimmune diseases. So we talk about the whole health, but we then focus on creating a diet together based on what they eat at the moment and how they eat at the moment to reduce the underlying inflammation of endometriosis, because there's a bit of a myth that it is a hormonal disease, and although hormones play a role because the endometriosis responds to, in particular, estrogen, but it's really an inflammatory disease. So the focus for nutrition is to minimize the inflammation and therefore slow down or even halt the progression of the disease, deal with a lot of symptoms that seem a bit out there, a lot of digestive issues, most have leaky gut, and so have food intolerances. So the diet is really focused on reducing that inflammation, and that's the focus, well, in the first consultation.
And so what would be your, I guess, number one tip that you find that you're always talking to patients about? It's like it's you could just press repeat.
Go gluten and dairy free.
Right. Okay.
That's my that is, and it sounds easy. Because the gluten and dairy is such a big part of our diet, and it's not as simple as removing it and then just you're fine. But yeah, that's definitely, there's already you can really get a lot of improvement on your symptoms by removing gluten and dairy, and I think that's a great way to sort of test if diet is something to pursue, and the improvements then are often a motivator in itself to go, okay, so what else can I do to start to feel even better?
Even better. And that's, I guess, taking that, you mentioned inflammation, that can just take that pressure off the gut and that inflammation just to calm everything down.
Yep.
And is it are you telling people it's just for a short period of time while we do all our work? Is it?
To be honest, gluten and dairy seems to be permanent. But there are usually other food intolerances at play as well, and they can be temporary. They may be there simply because the gut is very, very upset and very irritated, and so once the gut is healed, some foods can often be put back in moderation, but some, like gluten and dairy, my clients always try at some point and go, I'm going to have a little bit of cheese. Seems to be a big food that they want to try, and then most of the time they come back and go, oh, that wasn't a good idea. But it can change, but mostly no.
No, and that's so good. I mean, as you said, there's so much research with autoimmune and gluten as well. And it's just cleaning up that diet and having that whole anti-inflammatory approach to really reduce the inflammation in the body.
Yes, absolutely. And we can't cure endometriosis because we don't know what's causing it, but it can definitely reduce symptoms to a point where often you can go back, you can go back to doing normal things, like making plans with friends and not having to cancel last minute because you're feeling so unwell, or going back to work. Some women have to give up work because they're so unwell, and doing those is playing with your kids. I mean, and for some, actually pursuing having children, because endometriosis has a big impact on fertility. So there's a lot of changes that you can achieve. And I'm not saying nutrition is the only thing. There's a range of tools that you want to put in your toolkit, but nutrition definitely can play a really key part in starting to feel so much better.
Oh, wow. Bringing back quality of life, that's so important.
Yes.
That's so good. And thank you for sharing that with us today. And so again, A.M.G, what is your clinic name and where can we find you on social media?
Well, very originally, my clinic name is the Endometriosis Nutritionist. Easy to find. And I'm on Facebook, the Endometriosis Nutritionist, and on Instagram, the Endometriosis Nutritionist.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing that with us today as well.
A pleasure.